A heavily armored fleet of the CJNG cartel, loaded with drugs, cash, and weapons, surges through the Gulf of Mexico like a tempest, heading straight for the Texas coastline. This isn't just a smuggling run. It's a brazen maritime incursion backed by enough firepower to obliterate any patrol in its path. They believe the sea lanes have been cleared, that no U.S. sailor would dare intercept in this vast, remote expanse. But concealed beneath the waves and soaring in the skies, the lethal eyes and arms of the United States are poised. What happens when Mexico's most ruthless drug traffickers unwittingly sail straight into a trap laid by Navy SEALs and the U.S. Navy? Don't blink before the truth unfolds. August 2nd, 2025, 11:32 p.m. The Gulf of Mexico heaves with the throaty rumble of high-powered marine engines. Waves crash and splinter under stark white searchlights, churning into foamy streaks against the inky blackness. In the midst of this humid, starless summer night, 12 armored speedboats and 3 heavy cargo vessels of the CJNG cartel press toward the border. .50 cal machine guns mounted on their decks, gleaming with a salty metallic sheen, barrels pivoting side to side as if eager to pulverize any obstacle. In the cockpits and on the open decks, over 50 gunmen, armed to the teeth and paid handsomely to kill, bark curt orders into radios, utterly convinced this offshore route has been secured by loyal cartel overlords. But far above at over 10,000 meters, a U.S. Navy MQ-4C Triton drone has shadowed every nautical mile of the fleet's journey since it departed Manzanillo, Jalisco, and veered into these treacherous waters. Each flicker of navigation lights, every encrypted radio burst transmitted, is intercepted and beamed instantaneously to the command center at Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, Texas. In the dimly lit ops room of the forward command post, a 15-panel display illuminates 3D bathymetric maps, thermal imaging overlays, and real-time drone feeds, where officers from Navy SEALs, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and DEA observe in hushed anticipation, poised for the ideal instant to unleash the meticulously orchestrated trap. Over the past 48 hours, well beyond the cartel's radar horizons, the destroyer USS Spruance has orbited silently. Its 127mm Mark 45 cannon and Harpoon missiles primed, chaff and flares for defense, Harpoon munitions racked and ready, just awaiting the fire command. On the rugged outcrops of narrow barrier islands 10 kilometers from the territorial line, 18 SEAL operators hunkered down in prone positions. The Pentagon's directive rings clear: capture or eliminate everything. Let nothing breach the border. At the selected choke point, a constricted channel between coral reefs, sonar sensors embedded in the seabed register the initial pressure waves as the lead speedboat slices through. Infrared cameras camouflaged amid mangrove roots capture escalating heat signatures as the vessels funnel into the passage. Manta naval mines were deployed in offset arrays at diverse depths to evade chain detonations, with activation lines threaded discreetly to elevated safe trigger spots on the ridges. Astern of the fleet, a fallback channel is barricaded by remotely deployable underwater barriers, primed to thwart any reversal attempt. In those same 48 hours, U.S. assets have tailed the fleet utilizing low-altitude RQ-21 Blackjack C drones alongside high-altitude MQ-4C Tritons, synced with low Earth orbit satellites for instantaneous route deviation updates. Thermal scans reveal vessels straining at peak load, with intense heat plumes from cargo bays, likely emanating from concealed electronics and auxiliary diesel generators linked to the illicit payload. Within the mobile command hub at Corpus Christi, the 15-panel array projects a 3D topographic model of the zone, live drone streams, decoded radio intercepts, and potential enemy detours. Whenever the fleet alters velocity or alignment, a coordination officer relays refined targeting data to the USS Spruance's gunnery team for pinpoint fire solutions. Roughly 30 kilometers off the Mexican seaboard, the fleet deviates from the main shipping lane onto an obscure back channel, a covert shortcut across the Gulf to dodge Mexican patrols and low-flying U.S. drones. Unknown to them, the DEA has embedded an informant in their midst to nudge them precisely into this channel, the ordained kill zone. The cartel's arrogance is palpable, absolute. They cruise at around 50 knots, scout boats not venturing too far forward. Gunmen perched exposed on decks, primed to unleash volleys against rival factions or pirates, yet wholly scoffing at the notion of confronting U.S. forces, something they've deemed inconceivable in these waters for years. From aloft, the USS Spruance sustains a broad, undetectable circuit, evading sonar or visual pickups, though its 127mm armament is pre-sighted. Electro-optical suites gradually lock onto each vessel's superstructure, ranking threats by thermal profiles and armament contours. Along the island crests, 18 SEALs divided into 4 squads, each overseeing a kill zone sector, have secured their M4A1S and 18 Malawian-Quach's close-quarters rifles and firing stances. Infrared sights panning relentlessly, active noise-canceling headsets with integrated mics piping direct directives from the lead. Concurrently, an electronic warfare unit positions 2 compact GPS disruptors tucked in island alcoves, set to garble any onboard navigation systems, sowing pandemonium at battle's onset. Beneath the surface, sonar arrays and filament-thin laser tripwires disguised amid kelp and coral reefs log each vessel's passage, relaying exact specs on class, displacement, and interval to the ops center. At 12:03 a.m., the Vanguard speedboat breaches sensor waypoint 1. A crimson icon flares on the 3D display, trailed by the next, and onward until all 15 craft incrementally infiltrate the channel. In the command suite, the atmosphere crackles with strain, all gazes riveted on the kill zone boundary. When the 8th vessel hits the heart of the kill zone, a single trigger squeeze from an island perch ignites a chain of Manta naval mines. Hundreds of explosive charges erupt in a subsurface fury, propelling lethal shrapnel through hulls, engines, and deck mounts on the 3 lead speedboats. The blasts catapult 2 gunners clutching 50 calories machine guns overboard into the churning foam. Detonations reverberate across the channel, bouncing off rocky shoals in a thunderous cascade that shakes the night like an undersea quake. Almost in sync, from the shrouded horizon, the USS Spruance unleashes its 127mm Mark 45 cannon. Tracer shells arc downward in fiery streaks, slamming into armored superstructures and spewing incandescent metal shards across the roiling waves. The fleet plunges into bedlam. CJNG gunmen vault from decks, splashing into shallows or hunkering behind gunnels and pilings. But the flanking islands erupt with pinpoint muzzle flashes from Navy SEALs M4A1S and 18 Malawian-Quach's rifles. Every round is calculated, swiftly dropping threats gripping heavy arms or scrambling to remount turrets. From the stern, one speedboat veers to reverse, only to collide with the cargo hauler trailing it. Its bow crumpled, propellers mangled, effectively corking the retreat path. A piercing shriek heralds a radar-guided Harpoon missile from the USS Spruance, zeroing on a munitions-laden vessel mid-fleet. As the warhead breaches the plating and detonates, the hold erupts in a voracious blaze. Scores of ammo crates and volatile charges ignite in a domino inferno, a colossal fireball swallowing 2 adjacent speedboats. Meanwhile, amid the channel's core, a Cartel squad assembles an RPG-7 launcher, angling it toward a SEAL outpost on the eastern ridge. Yet as the tube clears cover, a 5.56mm slug from an MP5 shreds the Rocketeer's arm, the RPG tumbling and erupting prematurely, vaporizing 2 cohorts in a concussive haze. Overhead, Black Hornet nanodrones swarm near undamaged hulls, beaming high-res close-ups to the command hub to isolate El Toro, the CJNG underboss. Holed up in the fortified cockpit of a cigarette powerboat at the convoy's vanguard, his features twist in alarm as he bellows into a handset, met only with hissing interference from total signal blackout. A 127mm round from the USS Spruance impacts less than 4 meters off his starboard, hurling spray and debris, fracturing the canopy and pinning him low against the dash. Moments on, the rhythmic chop of MH-60 are Seahawk rotors thunders from the north. The Hello dips low, leveraging nightfall and island silhouettes for concealment, extracting the injured without straying into hostile arcs. The Cartel's Defiance sputters erratically. Clusters counter with AR-15 bursts and pistol fire, but their reach falls short of the elevated SEAL purchase. Others scale cargo decks to seize machine guns, instantly silhouetted for precision takedowns by marksmen on the Western Shoal, where two SEALs with 12 Malawian Quachas SPRs have dialed in trajectories beforehand. Barely 6 minutes post-initial blast, half the fleet lies crippled. Flaming husks drift and clog the narrow strait. Billows of smoke entwine with glowing tracers. Howls merge with the screech of rending steel, forging a vista of raw ferocity and choking mayhem. Per ops directive, the USS Spruance pivots to suppressive mode, deploying laser-homed ordnance to dismantle lingering holdouts while sparing seizure-bound cargo. The EW squad escalates disruption, spoofing Cartel NAV systems and comms, luring viable boats to bolt into the open Gulf, directly into a secondary encirclement with zero egress. The kill zone pulses like a battered steel vault under siege. Each Cartel riposte is quashed in an instant. Movements anticipated, every niche blanketed by at least one SEAL sight line amid strobing flares dispensed from the Spruance. Mangled vessels, contorted mounts, and flailing forms paint a frenzied panorama where the quarry grasps too late it's navigated into a shark's maw with all portals barred. From the USS Spruance, an AGM-84 Harpoon is launched, acquiring a pristine ammo carrier at the fleet's tail. The searing trail punches the deck plating, erupting in cataclysm. The shock and thermal surge cook off internal munitions, spawning a serial blast that annihilates two flanking armored crafts. Fragmented hull bits carom off reefs like razor hail, eradicating any lurkers in proximity. The USS Spruance persists in its patrol, surgically eroding resistance clusters with tight 127mm salvos, thwarting any coalescence or retaliation. On the islands, SEAL units rappel to the waterline, advancing past smoldering debris, probing with weapon lights. Succinct directives crackle through headsets, meshing flawlessly with naval overwatch. At the fleet's prow, Squad 1 closes on the armored cigarette sheltering El Toro, CJNG's Jalisco lieutenant. He's yanked from the helm mere seconds after a burst shatters the hatch glass, wrists zip-tied astern, a hardened laptop, and 3 sat phones confiscated immediately. All arms trafficking logs and Cartel internals promptly bagged for exfil to base. Concurrently, flanking squads ransack surviving crafts, securing heaps of AR-15s, sidearms, crew-served weapons, and the full narcotic trove appraised by the DEA at hundreds of millions. Resisting shooters are dropped without hesitation, surrendering one's ditch hardware, getting restrained, and being sidelined from the fray. 25 minutes from the opening salvo, exchanges dwindle. Haze and particulate settle, yielding only to boot splashes and U.S. tactical chatter. The commander broadcasts the halt, ceasefire. The USS Spruance peels from orbit as the MQ-4C Triton elevates for extended overwatch, confirming no Cartel relief inbound. SEALs secure a defensive perimeter around the wreckage-strewn channel, while DEA teams catalog the spoils and herd detainees. In the now-still Gulf waters, shafts from scores of tactical floodlights pierce the gloom, casting stark glows on charred vessel skeletons, twisted hull plating, and ruptured cargo holds. A testament to flawless execution, where every tactical calculus synced to the millisecond and fathom, affording the adversary zero room to counterpunch. The pungent reek of cordite and scorched fiberglass hangs heavy in the humid air. The after-action briefing tallies the unyielding metrics: 12 armored speedboats and 3 heavy cargo vessels demolished or impounded, 42 CJNG operatives neutralized, 15 taken alive. The entire illicit cache, all drugs, armaments, and over $60 million in laundered cash, is now safeguarded by the DEA. U.S. personnel report 0 fatalities, with just 1 SEAL sustaining a minor laceration, promptly medevac to safety. El Toro's apprehension, along with his arms-dealing dossiers, flashes straight to D.C., and within hours, he's airlifted from Naval Air Station Corpus Christi for debriefing and extradition proceedings. The Pentagon and DEA acclaim the op as a devastating strike against CJNG's logistical arteries and hierarchy, not merely for the staggering material forfeiture, but for the resonant doctrine it imparts. The U.S. can bide, surveil, and pounce precisely when foes are most exposed. American and Mexican outlets ignite with headlines. Footage of the cartel's incinerated armada and confiscated contraband morph into emblems of Navy SEALs and Coast Guard cohesion in maritime interdiction warfare. Amid the flotsam, a poignant interlude unfolds as a SEAL clasps forearms with a USS Spruance gunner. A portable display loops drone captures in the backdrop, underscoring that genuine dominance resides not in hasty volleys, but in patient orchestration, ensuring the opponent never lands a retort. For CJNG, this transcends a mere skirmish setback. It's a fracture in their aura of border sea impunity. For America, it's a stark affirmation that any cross-border syndicate daring to cross the line will be halted cold. This August 2025 Gulf ambush will endure in doctrinal texts as a paradigm of restraint, exhaustive groundwork, and inter-service harmony, eradicating a threat in under half an hour. The maritime rout off Texas shores wasn't solely a tactical triumph over CJNG. It stood as a stark emblem of fused intelligence, forbearance, and superior U.S. naval prowess. Across any ocean, strait, or bay, if you transgress America's bounds, you'll confront its unyielding force from depths, crests, and obscurity, with no retreat viable. This transcended a mere engagement. It proclaimed America's resolve and capacity to safeguard its sovereignty. If you're hooked on tales of audacious, pinpoint U.S. naval ops, smash that subscribe button now. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you in the next drop with even fiercer, pulse-racing confrontations. Disclaimer: this content is a work of fiction intended for entertainment purposes only. Any resemblance to real events, places, or people is coincidental. The content does not represent the official views of any organization and does not promote violence, illegal behavior, or discrimination. Viewers should exercise their own judgment and not use this content for purposes other than entertainment.